let's hop on in to Nightshade, where we have spawning in the lower right-hand corner. In the red, playing for Team Kaizi, it is Bunny. And his opponent in the upper left, the blue Protoss player, currently teamless. Our French player, it is PtitDrogo. There are a lot of matches starting up right now. I did want to get one that wasn't being broadcast elsewhere, but I actually think that's impossible. Pretty sure there are too many casters for that to happen. So we're just going to try to follow what we can, when we can do it. I know there are a few other series starting up right now. If you're interested in checking them out, Cure versus Showtime, Special versus Hero Marine, and Clem is going to be playing Skillus. Now, we were covering some Bunny during one of the last qualifiers. We got to see him play versus DNS, and those were actually sick games. They were sick games. I won't even lie about it. They were dope. I actually just put them up on YouTube because they were so good. So I'm really hoping we get to see some more of that kind of play out of Bunny. Because I think PtitDrogo, I mean, he's definitely one of the top EU Protosses at the moment. But might be looking to put on a little bit more aggression than some other players. I'm very interested to see how this match goes. Bunker comes up just as the Stalker gets there. Stalker, though, just says, I don't care about your one Marine. But doesn't get the SCV kill. Gets pushed away before it loses any actual hit points. And the Reaper is going to try to jump up. Doesn't want to die, though. Would rather stay alive than get a scout. Now this wall, this is an anti-Hellion wall. We don't have any Hellions coming out of Bunny, but Drogo does not know that. Man, again, another French player without a team here. Ooh, Reaper goes down. Unfortunate for Bunny. He didn't end up being able to get that scout off. We gotta get these French players on a team. Drogo, Clem. They're too good. They're too good to not have teams. Actually yesterday we were covering Bunny. I was trying to think, I was like, what day was it? Literally yesterday. His match to qualify for the round of 16 today was against DNS. No wonder it's so fresh in my mind. Are gonna have a bit of a mind drop, but it looks like it's gonna go directly through the path of this observer. Oh, they're just gonna wave at each other. Although, the medevac does not see the observer. Stalker's in position to take care of that. The probes get pulled. A couple probes going down there. And it looks like the medevac should be able to get out. Maybe. I don't know if it can make it past there. But we have the Raven coming out, some Mariners. And it is going to be bio out of Bunny today. Not too shocked to see. Going to be some Widow Mines as well to complement that bio. See what Drogo has in store. Getting that Forge, getting that Twilight. getting that third base. We don't have a third CC just yet for Bunny. He's also down in workers, so he's definitely going to have to do some work to get back into that economic game. Looks like he's planning on doing a bit of an attack. +1 charge on the way. Warp Prism coming out, but it is just all gateway units here for Drogo at the moment. So if Bunny puts on a bit of pressure, might be able to catch Drogo off guard. And before any of these upgrades or tech are ready. First couple of medevacs coming out now. Third CC gonna go down on location. War Prism is coming on over to maybe put a stop to that though. Ooh, looks like a Stalker got caught out. Concussive shells just started now. Maybe hitting that Stalker made him realize. We don't have Storm, so High Templar not going to be all that useful. And yeah, again, there's just not very many units here. Double the army supply here for Bunny. Some of it is still over on this side of the map. Ooh, double auto turret harass here to kill some of these workers as well. While Bunny postures over at the third base. Widowmine goes off on the Archon. Lowers its health severely. And Bunny's army looking pretty good here. Although an Immortal and some Stalkers come down from the high ground. But that's not even going to be enough. This will get cleaned up eventually. But in the meantime, another auto turret. The army supply, look at this army supply for Bunny, 52 to 19 right now. And in the meantime, Bunny, he's still working on that third base because the warp-ins from the Warp Prism delayed it a little bit, but the worker count is very even. Drogo's +1 still just on the way. Charge is now finished and Blink has been started. I will say a lot of Bunny's army supply right now is in these 6 medevacs. Lots of healing energy happening in Bunny's army. But charge against Widowmines. That's a good fight there for the Terran. Once again, this Raven, which has 8 kills. Drops another auto turret. Ooh. Bit of a zealot harass here. A couple of Vikings will push this Warp Prism away. And here at the front lines, Widowmines are going to get some big shots off. Both the Archons going down. A lot of these Zealots very low. Some stutter stepping. Oh, focuses down. The Immortal doesn't get it and takes a lot of damage from these Zealots in the meantime. But is his army just too much bigger? There's few units left, but I don't know about that. They each have their own personal medevac right now. Reinforcement of units here. Widowmine won't get taken down. Ooh, Observer will though. Bunny's pushing real hard here. His army supply again a lot higher than what Drogo has. But a lot of it is still across the map. Oh, maybe a bit of an F2 there. This Raven doesn't really have any energy on it, so not going to be all that useful at the moment. Gonna have to wait till he gets enough for an auto turret. But what that F2 does is it brings all of his units from back home into this group. He's very far ahead economically and in the army supply. I think Drogo needs to pull off a miracle to get out of this one. Zealots come in, the Widowmines go off, and the rest of the bio stands strong. A Liberator. It's going to be game over. Bunny's going to take game number 1 against Drogo here. GG. A very solid game there from Bunny. I'm not sure what Drogo's game plan was, but it felt like he wasn't ever really able to get into it, into that game plan. So we're going to get into game number 2 here on Simulacrum, and I'm hoping that Drogo can change it up a little bit. All right. We're fighting over who gets to put the name on these people. Man, a lot of people casting this one. It's a good choice. Strong choice. I'm pulling for Drogo. I hope he can bring something back into it. I think he definitely can. He's a very good Protoss player. He knows what he's got to do. Excuse you, StarCraft. But as we go into Simulacrum, I'm interested in what Bunny's going to do as well. I don't think he's going to do a big 2-base push like that again, but you know, it worked well once. Why not again? Let's hop into it. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner, our Red Terran player from Korea. It is Kaizi Gaming's Bunny. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, the French Protoss player, currently teamless. It is PtitDrogo. Dropping down that gateway. Got the GLHFs in chat. We're ready to go. Drogo sending out that probe for a little scout. Now this map is not terrible for Reaper proxies. Just because you have 2 jump up points, it becomes better. But Drogo, not afraid, not going Cybercore first. We'll plant down that Nexus. Fortunately for him, Bunny is just going for what looks to be a Reaper expand. A couple SCVs coming down. Oh, probe wants to block it. Probe says no. Oh, the SCV will just put it slightly off location. I already made this joke yesterday, but it's, you know, it's a command off center. Haha. Excuse me, sorry. Reaper coming out now and following up with a Marine and a factory. Drogo on the other side of things, grabbing a Stalker. Gonna get that out to defend against the Reaper. Getting Warp Gate. Who even gets Warp Gate? Reaper gonna come in, see the Nexus as it's finishing up. We should be able to see this Robo as well. That's a nice little scout. Seeing everything he needs to see, we'll get out of there and live to scout another day. As Bunny's command center finishes, Bunny is down quite a few workers at the moment. Looks like Drogo's been chronoing out some workers here. We'll morph it into an orbital before moving it. Widow Mine coming out, so it looks like he wants to do another mine drop. Last game, that wasn't the most effective thing. We'll see if this game it goes a little bit better for him. Drogo is definitely on top of that. Again, it has this anti-Hellion wall, just in case the Hellions try to run in the front door. Chronoing out some observers, wants to get that vision. I think that's something that really helped him in the last game against that Widow Mine drop too, is that he knew it was coming for kind of a long time before it happened. And yeah, again, trying to get vision all over the place. Observers, stalkers, things like that. Oh, Reaper comes in, try to get some scouts, sees the third base going down. Again, no third CC from Bunny just yet, although it's like literally as I click his base to say that, he starts the third CC. Well, there you go. So nicely timed third CC from Bunny. It will be scouted by this observer, who's bravely flying over a group of Marines. Medevac looking for an area to drop in. But it looks like Drogo's pretty tightly bound up here. It's gonna head towards the main. Oh no, going towards the natural, just from the direction of the main. Drogo does get the pull in time. We'll lose a couple of probes, as is to be expected. Reaper did a lot of damage to that pylon, actually. You know what? Maybe later Bunny can kill that pylon. Supply block Drogo. And then that'll win him the game. You never know. It'll all be thanks to that Reaper. We've got double eBay coming up behind this. Oh, and we have a tank coming out. All right, so this is more like how Bunny played yesterday. He had this bio tank army, and then ended up going into Vikings and Liberators. I think a lot of that was dependent on what DNS was doing. Drogo playing a little bit differently, going into an earlier Storm here, opting not to go for Colossus or for the Robo Bay at all. We have Charge, Storm, and +1 armor on the way coming out of Drogo. Third base. We're looking to land here for Bunny. Oh, that Stalker with 1 hit point gets out of there. But he's still quite a bit behind in workers at the moment. No chrono boost for our Terran player. Ooh, +1 started. Okay, I was gonna say he does not have +1 armor started, but he does start it. Stim on the way, as well as combat shields. More barracks coming up, just getting that production up, getting that army up. Lots of scouting here from Drogo. However, there is a Raven with the army, so if he walks through any of these observer fields, he will be able to kill them at the very least. I love this observer spread though, and just the vision that Drogo has had this whole game. Drogo going ahead, taking a 4th base. Killing some rocks. Double forge here as well. Oh, and there is the Robo Bay coming down. So we'll see if Bunny will be able to get ready for that. Once those units start coming out, Vikings for Colossi, Liberators for Disruptors. We do have Enhanced Shockwave on the way, as well as Enhanced Shockwave on the way, as well as some Ghosts. I feel like those words did not come out of my mouth. We got there. No 4th command. Oh my. It's like he listens to me. He reads my mind. There's the 4th command center on the way. A bit behind Drogo's 4th. And it is going to be Colossi and Thermal Lance coming out of Drogo here. That is his Robotech of choice, at least for now. Looking for a war prism, perhaps? Caught a war prism? No. Did not catch a war prism, alas. Drogo's army is kind of missing that big backbone of robo units, but we do have a couple of immortals here and the Colossi coming out. Oh, is that the Reaper finally dying? Sad if so. We do have a single Viking out. Extra starport coming up. Ooh, and actually switching off of tanks, at least for now. Oh, there's that war prism he was looking for earlier. Really wants to get that kill. Will instead get a few zealots here, or a single zealot. We have 4 tanks in this army. Nice backbone of the tanks, but Drogo is moving out. Got a big army coming up here. Ooh, and he catches this chunk of army. Couple of decent EMPs. This is definitely the area Drogo is going to want to attack in, I think, based on the 4 tanks and the supply depot wall here. Oh my god, he just dodged that. He just dodged that anti-armor missile. Drogo. Oh, he didn't dodge it completely. Okay. If he did, that would have been too good. Literally too good. That's like unfair. Really, really nice pickup. He at the very least split that Archon off, so that anti-armor missile didn't hit anything else, which is already incredibly impressive. But it looks like Drogo has backed off. He is at 200 supply, and Bunny has surpassed him in worker counts now. So Bunny's army going to be a little bit smaller as he maxes out. Oh, big drop here, gets caught. However, there's a lot of Terran here. Just needs to avoid those storms. Storms would absolutely destroy that. Rest of Drogo's army down here at his 4th base. Looking pretty strong with these Colossus in back now. Well, we have a lot of buildings on the way. We have a Dark Shrine. We have a Fleet Beacon, which is nearby enough. There it is. We have more Stargates. Tons of Stargates on the way. That looks like a carrier amount of Stargates. We also have a Fusion Core on the way. These guys, they know what they're doing. Fusion Core does seem to be for lib range. Oh man, 3 more command centers going down. Bunny going crazy on the extra command centers. Drogo looks to be positioned to hit at 2 different angles here. Oh, this army gonna be seen by Bunny by virtue of that medevac dying. Does he have a scan? Oh no, it doesn't look like it. And there's a lot of units coming over here. Tanks siege up a lot late. This part of the army here from Bunny does want to move out over here. Bunny's supply, though, dropped quite a bit for a little while there. Looks like this command center will go down. Not that Bunny doesn't have plenty more. That is still unfortunate. Now Drogo is still moving in, doing damage. We also have a Ghost looking for a nuke. Ooh. Actually goes for the EMP instead. Oh man, the storms on those SCVs kills the planetary. Bunny's units come in to try to clean this up. Oh, and he's gonna get that orbital as well. Bunny will clean that army up. And actually, Drogo's supply has fallen quite a bit. I feel like he just made some stuff and then canceled it. His supply went a little bit crazy there for a second. Just trying to figure out what he wants to create to fend off this army from Bunny. Bunny's got a big fleet of Vikings. Should be able to take down these Colossi, no problem. Bunch more Marine Marauders following up here. Oh, Stalker's trying to fight out at the front. Bit of a flank from Drogo. Massive anti-armor missile and massive EMPs. Even with the flank, I think Bunny's going to be able to squash right through this. The EMPs are just going to be too much. The Vikings kill all the Colossus and land to help finish off the rest of these units. And that they do. Drogo's supply falls to 113. He's now down 30 army supply. Stalker is hitting that base. But Drogo is losing this base. And Bunny can move, yeah, up here to the north and take out this one as well. Big issue here for Drogo is the lack of storms. All of his High Templar with energy died. We do have some Phoenix coming out, though. Or Phoenix, Tempest, excuse me. Vikings gonna go back into the air, but a lot of them died, and that makes the ground force a lot weaker. Some reinforcements will come in and take care of some of these Archons. It looks like Bunny just wants to try to get on out of there, and he's got to run. Charge lots will catch up to him eventually. Ooh, and double Colossus here. Considering Bunny lost all of his Vikings, there's a very good army against him right now. More Marauders coming up to try to focus down these Colossus, but the Zealots come in for the assist. And Bunny was looking really good for a little while there. But he doesn't have a whole lot behind this. Now it's Bunny that's down in army supply, and it looks like Drogo wants to hit onto this planetary. Which, considering he's at 3-3, he should be able to kill. Decides not to focus fire it, though. Well, that's just annoying. DT's trying to get some work done. Does he have Blink for the DTs? No. Basically useless units then. Come on, Drogo, I believe in you. We have a lot of command centers here, so Bunny should be able to drop a lot of mules and keep a lot of scans available. Not a ton of Vikings coming out. It is just these 4 at the moment. Bit of a drop going around the top side. Looking for the DTs, perhaps. Sees this army coming. This big, bulky army. Ideally, the Vikings want to take out the Colossus, but the Tempest will shoot them down very quickly. This little ragtag group here will get completely cleaned up by Zealots and DTs. The main army going to move across here, and Drogo is up 40 supply right now. And it's entirely an army supply. I guess it's more like 30 at this point, but definitely has the advantage there. Bunny's still working on his army composition. He has a ton of gas. He needs to get those minerals. More Vikings on the way out. Try to combat the Tempests that are out, as well as the Colossi. Drogo at 200 supply, not really doing a whole lot at the moment. And An Immortal and a Warp Prism getting caught out a little bit here. As well as whatever that was. An Observer, perhaps. Another dead Observer. That's alright. Cleaning Bot's doing okay. Alright, it looks like Drogo wants to hit in 2 places at once again. Comes in here with this very gateway heavy force. Moving around to the south side with the bulkier parts of the army here. This is seeing, oh my god, the EMP is on all of the ghosts, or on all the High Templar. Meanwhile, Bunny's army is over on this side, takes care of the High Templar. No storms, this army is completely caught. There's no detection here. Sniping off High Templar. Alright, and Bunny's moving towards the top side of the map. Drogo may want to go for a base trade here. At least a little bit of one. You take my 6th base, I'll take yours. That is exactly what's going to happen. However, this one's a planetary, a little bit harder to crack into, but there should be plenty of units here to do it. Bunny's still going. He's not going to come home to defend. Let's see if Drogo decides to keep moving forward. He does. Bunny trying to take this base to the top side. Moving down to the south here. Oh my god, this ghost. Just going crazy. Until his cloak runs out, he's just going crazy. Oh, or an observer pops. Alright, well, Drogo's starting to get on top of this production. Meanwhile, Drogo's main base is actually doing okay right now. A lot of his tech, a lot of his production is still fine. Looks like he's not going to go into Bunny's main base. Oh, probes running through the meat grinder of Terran, but some of them will escape. Drogo only has his natural and main left. Bunny only has his main left right now, but he's got a couple of command centers trying to float away. Tempests don't really care if you're floating away, though. In the meantime, Bunny is completely out of money. And Drogo is actually supply blocked. So these armies are gonna just stay as they are for at least a little bit here. Ooh, a couple of Vikings going down. That's pretty huge. Oh, Disruptor Nova gets a few units. Oh, Bunny catches some units back on this side though. And it looks like Bunny actually should be able to clean this up. Nova's not doing what they need to. Tempest, without that ground army underneath, not going to be nearly as strong. EMP's on absolutely everything, and all of those units will die. And with that, Drogo will have to tap out. Bunny takes the series 2-0. Just like that.